Hi, I'm Joan Leotta. This meeting belongs to Sharon Knudsen, who is the founder of Storytellers, and she's gathered us all together and given us better opportunities to get to know one another and to get our poetry out in the world. She's not participating today, but she will be watching us all, so got to be on our best behavior on YouTube. And we send you love, Sharon, from all of us. And we'll just start out. Each person will read one poem, and I have the order written down so I don't forget it. And everyone keep muted when you're not reading, please. Okay. The first reader is Allery. And if you want to say one or two sentences about yourself or your poem, that's fine, but no more than one or two sentences because we really have a full house today. Allery, it's on to you. You need to, there you go.
Hitting the wrong button. Okay.
I understand.
Um, why am I not showing up in the mainframe? Whoops.
You are on. You're on the recording because you're on my screen.
Okay.
Everyone is on my screen.
Well, I'm still showing myself in the teeny box at the bottom, so I didn't know if I was
Don't worry
projecting.
about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Portsmouth, Virginia, right on the waterfront harbor between Norfolk and Portsmouth, and it was hot, hot, hot in the summer. So my childhood was divided into two parts: before air conditioning and after air conditioning. We moved out to the suburbs and got some air conditioning finally, but we used a lot of good reasons to escape down to the beaches or rent a cottage or whatever. And so my poem, you'll see from the poem what kind of things we did, but okay. Keeping cool. The used car was a steal, Daddy said. Air conditioning. So we piled in and headed for Richmond, Broad Street, downtown. Scalding pavement. What did we care that traffic crawled? We enjoyed the novelty of not sweating. The woman in the next car seemed cool too, as she asked Mama, "Did you know you're on fire?" Flames shot up from the chassis. My brother saved himself, watched from the corner as Mama turned into Wonder Woman, yanking me up and over the front seat. Now the three of us stood on the curb yelling at Daddy. The fireman with the bullhorn yelled too, "Sir, get out of the car, now!" But Daddy just stayed cool. Thank you.
Yes, air conditioning, a game changer. Jacqueline, you're next.
Hi, this poem was published in the summer issue of Orchard's Poetry Journal, and it has some references to summer. It's called Act 3 of Thornton Wilder's Our Town. At the end of my days, if I'm allowed to go back, against the better judgment of other dead souls looking down from the top of the hill, what would I choose? The rainy afternoon with my toddler, snuggling under a fuzzy blanket on that bratty green couch in the small apartment we had before there was money for a house. The sunset from a deck chair on a cruise to Bermuda. Or this quiet morning, eating crunchy cereal on my patio, a breeze blowing through my hair. Wilder's Emily chose her 12th birthday, then turned to the audience to exult. Hot baths, coffee, sunflowers, dawn, and clocks ticking with all the wonder we don't take the time to see. Thank you.
That's great. I do like that. Laurie Kunst?
Yes. Hi.
You're next.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see everyone. you see everybody's name and emails, and it's just nice to see faces. Um, as some of you know that I'm going to be a grandma for the first time. The baby is due. The granddaughter is due September 7th, which is the full harvest moon and a blood moon eclipse. So very auspicious time. I hope she can wait till September 7th, because I'm in Florida, the dreaded state of Florida. My son and daughter-in-law are in Los Angeles, and we were supposed to fly out a week from today, and then my husband played tennis and tore his meniscus and needs surgery. So we're hoping we make it, love and light, that we make it out there for the baby to see the baby born. Anyway, sorry for that whole thing, but so this is a brand new poem. I've been writing lots of grandma to be poems, Bubby to be poems, and this is a brand new one. It's called Waiting for My Granddaughter to Be Born. While the world falls apart and I worry about shelter and rain, wars break daily in country and out. Everyone's tomorrow tumbles like dominoes on a wobbly table. I tell my son I am writing a poem for his daughter. He says, stay away from roses, Junes, moons, Ferris wheels, and all things that turn, for the turning makes one dizzy. But it is in the turning that I wait, with the world in its fall, for that magic word of arrival, bringing all the good that rings with a greeting. Welcome to the world, your turn. Thank you.
Okay.
I like that. You're next, Rose? Yes,
Yes.
you are.
I was going to read a funny poem, but I found a summer one. I said to Joan, I don't have a summer one, but because we are here in Peru, we are in winter.
Yes.
But I found a summer one from a completely different country when I was very young. And it's called That Summer in Finland. My uncle had bought a part of the small peninsula, originally a gentleman's farm, but since the war, a way of living for my cousin and her family. A big slab of granite rock with earth on top, with trees and underbrush, and the nearest island at 1 kilometer as the swimmer swims. A secret cove out of sight, got there with a simple old rowboat, the oars hanging heavy in their oarlocks. A sandwich in a small metal tin, a water bottle. There was a rock, granite of course, warmed through and through by that summer sun, with hollows and little mounds where I could arrange my naked body to perfection, until I felt part of the stone, of the earth, of her innermost history, of her darkness, her quiet vastness, her languid life and lazy eyes that could see as far as the farthest star and the deepest depths, where she churns iron at temperatures as hot as the sun itself. There was the ease of eons and a slow stirring. I swam in the perfection of being all. A sudden rupture, the cracking of breaking twigs under heavy weights, and a penetrating stink. I opened my eyes and looked into the big face of a giant monster with big shovels standing away from its forehead, the beard of Satan himself, even though its eyes seemed to look kindly at my prostrate, vulnerable, almost pink form. I had never moved faster. From the rowboat, I could see a herd of moose crossing the sea to the other island, leaving a busy wake. When I could breathe again, I counted 9 pairs of antlers. Thank you.
An adventure in the summer. Very good, very good. So, Lorraine.
Hello,
dear?
everybody.
You need to speak up a little more
Okay,
because your mic isn't strong.
let me tune up my Okay. Is this better? Okay. Summer poem. This is called Promises of Rain. All summer we wait, watching sullen clouds rumble upon the horizon. Once and again, a few drops tease, scarring the parched soil, our parched souls. In the yellowing dusk we sit, listening to the dry hum of cicadas. Once and again, I wander away from my dreams, tasting blue lightning, the burnt night. All summer we wait, hoping for the promise of rain. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's beautiful, Lorraine. The promise of rain. Right now, we're getting so much of it. I feel like it's the promise of no rain is what we're looking for, but without rain, we can't exist. So,
But you're
okay.
lucky to have rain.
We are. We are. Neil, are you ready?
I am. I've unmuted. I'm going to read a poem from my soon-to-be published book, My Blood's Country. My Blood's Country is the area of my birth, and my great-great-grandparents were pioneers, and I wrote this book of poems about it. At the end, I've just got a few poems from my own personal experience. I left when I was 5, but every summer I went back. So this last group of 5 poems are all summer poems. This one's called At Goanna Headland. Goanna Headland was really significant for the Bundjalung people. It's where the myth of their origin began. In their myth, their origin began at Goanna Headland. So here it is, Goanna Headland. I spent quite a lot of time there in my life. At Goanna Headland. Somewhere in the past are dark clouds. Somewhere the oppressor grief adds his heavy weights. Somewhere the spirits of victims cry and moan. Always there is war or struggle or suffering. But not here, not today. At this moment, you can see the mild sun shining in a cloudless sky. The moving river seems perfectly still, filled with floating reflections. I recline on the sand, a rod in my hand, and a little fair-haired boy, my youngest, kneels near me, laughing in pure childish delight. Let me fill in some of the things you cannot see. To the right is the boulder-filled breakwater where the river empties into the incessant sea. To the left, a little fleet of trawlers sits quietly moored to a jetty. Hidden too, but fixed in memory and fundamental to the scene, are my other children, playing in the sand, laughing and splashing in the shallow water. Hidden too is the woman, my wife, who, seeing the moment and capturing it, said, "Here, take this gift and carry it with you. See what joy is. Know how it is made of small, inconsequential moments. Cherish it. Always remember, no matter what comes or what clouds descend, this still blue sky, and lying on this sand, rod in hand, while our children splash and play." Thank you.
That was exquisite. Children are definitely a gift. And I think that's one thing that as poets, we are particularly attuned to are the small moments. And at least many of the ones in this group, we seem to be small moment people. We realize the value of small moments. Not that we ignore big moments, but we realize the value of the small moments. Lori realizes the value of the small phrase her son gave about turning and how that, and others of you have mentioned small moments. Rose, you were terrified in your small moment, but still, it was one moment, but yet it has impact. So we're very fortunate to be given that. And sharing it with others is also another blessing. Okay, stop talking, Joan, and it's Mary McCarthy.
Okay, this is a memory. This is a memory poem from childhood. The best thing about being with Dad. When the neighborhood bars softball leagues had begun their summer games, Dad would take us with him to Arsenal Park, where there were slides and swings. But they didn't interest us so much. We'd rather spend our time crawling under the shrubbery that covered the slope around the field. Dark and spicy air there in that dim and twig sticky space, thinking how no one could find us there, see us moving under the leaves in the hidden tunnels, getting our faces and arms scratched up, imagining we were soldiers or pirates or robbers, escaping the police, too clever by far to ever get caught, blissfully invisible, able to scramble fast and outwit any pursuit. And when we were done with that, there was the waterfall. That seemed a good challenge. What stones we could climb up and down again and again, with no one to stop us or warn us not to play on stones so steep and slippery. Everything we got away with was so delicious because Dad was not watching. Always so surprised we were wet and dirty after his game was over, maybe a little mad, but would still sit us down in a booth at the round corner bar with pop and potato chips, where we would laugh and blow cherry or root beer bubbles through our straws, knowing we'd get no punishment at home from Mama, just baths and bedtime, and her glad to have us off her hands for a while, long enough for her to sit with a book and a glass of beer, needing to do no more than turn the pages as she read. Thank you.
I'd forgotten about that there was a waterfall in Arsenal Park. I don't know that I actually even saw it. I didn't go out there very often. We're both from Pittsburgh, Mary and I. So we know some of the same places. Shoshana.
Okay, this is a poem that I've just been working on this summer. So it's still a draft, I'd say. It's titled Upon Seeing a Photo of Someone I Had a Crush on When We Were 4 years old. Fitting lids on shoeboxes seated on a kitchen floor, there were 2 of him, toe-headed twins, a phenomena I had not witnessed before. His parents, after having 5 sons, tried once more for a girl, got them. And out of all 7 brothers in that rambunctious 50s household, Tom was the one I tracked through grade school in shaded backyards, on sandlots, in the alleyways. His older brother, my brother's friend, his mother, my mother's friend, before his family exported themselves across the country to high desert. I heard he was divorced once, twice, and a father many times over. Next, a grandfather, weathered, hair sun-bleached, that my brother visits. What gets told over wine bottles and platters of pasta? What part of my life gets sifted out when he asks about me? A revisit of our neighborhood is like a holiday smorgasbord. Basketball rounds after breakfast, bones busted when tree branches broke, backyard bonfires with plastic army soldiers, Spud, Kick the Can, Red Rover. A near second for my affections was the 3rd eldest brother, who entered our house in a blue jersey and soccer shin guards fresh from varsity. Like a kaleidoscope that changes what comes into focus depending how you turn it. I wonder what these brothers seek to know when they wander back. Remember me.
You had your own reunion in that box. You didn't need to travel a long way like we did for Joe's 60th. Sean, well, that's the clapping. I thought you had, oh, but you're next, Sean, too. So there you go. Oops. Oh, goodness.
Okay, I had to unmute. Okay, hi everybody. This one is called Childhood. I could sit by that creek for hours in the summertime, thinking about where I would be if I wasn't right there. I'd watch for the ancient rainbow trout who slept beneath the rocky outcrop and never got caught. A red-winged blackbird sang from the wires. His metallic refrain kept me company. Where would I like to be? Bright blue dots of forget-me-nots scattered the bank like stars, pointing to a possible path. The air smelled like manure and adventure. If I climbed the willow tree, I could join the black ants that scrambled along the higher branches and happily busy myself with their tasks. Or take my place alongside the Jesus bugs, skimming the shallows, avoiding the danger of moving water and the barn swallows that darted in and out from under the bridge, stitching the sky in pairs as they built mud nests for their babies. I wanted to be one of their babies, safe and snug and never hungry for long, tucked in tight with the rest, belonging, safe from the great black water snake who was always there, swirling, circling just below the surface. Thank you.
Powerful poem, Sean.
Thank you.
I do have a question though. What's a Jesus insect?
Oh, the Jesus bug? I don't
Jesus
know.
bug.
They're like water skeeters.
Okay,
You know
they
those
just
one?
look like a cross. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We called them that in New York, but I think
Oh.
they're like water skeeters, whatever those are. Yeah.
All righty. So now we have Lori Levy. Oh, I wish this would quit doing this.
Hi,
Wait a
I'm in
minute.
Los Angeles, and I'm going to read a poem I wrote about my two oldest grandchildren when they were quite a lot younger.
There we go. I'm sorry. That thing keeps coming across my screen. I have no idea how. Wow. Would you mind repeating what you're reading?
Oh, okay. I said I'm in Los Angeles, and I'm going to read a poem about my two oldest grandchildren when they were quite a lot younger.
Okay, sounds great.
Rocks, sand, water. Why only birthdays, holidays? I want to celebrate kids, how hard they play, as if play is as serious as a day in the office, a day when a desk becomes the roof of a fort, and leave it to kids. Serious means fun. What is serious? What is fun? What, for that matter, is a beach? They know it's more than just sand and sea. A rock is never just a rock. And my grandchildren, watch how they transform from whining kids in the car to explorers scrambling over boulders at the base of a cliff at Leo Carrillo Beach, jumping from rock to rock until my grandson discovers a flat-topped one and yells to his younger sister, "This is our headquarters." So much excitement as they spread their towels, arrange their gear, flip-flops, water bottles, glasses, hats. Somehow I don't realize how silly I am to go back to the car to get the sand toys my daughter and I forgot in the trunk, worried they'll have nothing to do here without buckets, shovels, strainers, cups. I am stuck on sandcastles, on kids making mud pies, when there they are, perfectly happy, perched in their headquarters, surveying their new world. They set their sights on a giant rock at the edge of the water, soon to become their ship. Waves smash against rocks, burst into a downpour, and they run as fast as they can, laughing like there's nothing funnier than being chased to shore by a roaring sea. Another day, another beach, I'm with my toddler granddaughter, and again I've forgotten the toys. She shapes sand in her hands, makes me eggs, bacon, pancakes. I draw a plate in the sand, a fork, a spoon. She sets food on my plate, then pretends to chew. Just sand in her hand. That's all she needs. I celebrate kids.
Wonderful. That was really wonderful. Oh, and then I'm next. Abha, John, you're sure you don't want to read? Okay.
Well,
All
I
right.
can dig for something. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, only Mary probably knows what Kennywood is. But I'll tell you, it's a big amusement park, roller coasters, the whole works. Actually, Pittsburgh had two of them, Westview Park and Kennywood Park. Kennywood was the one we went to more often, and where my school had its picnics and so on. But our family used to go sometimes on a Sunday. In those days, back in the time when you took a dinosaur to the park, these parks existed, by the way, well before Disney World. In the 1890s, 1880s and 90s, they were built, and they had huge wooden coasters. But anyway, in 1955, when this poem is about, Kennywood still had no entrance fee. And in addition to all their rides, there was a big picnic area where you brought your own food. This was the days when you weren't checked at the gate to see if you brought water or your own sandwiches. You actually were encouraged to bring your own food. And rides, you bought tickets for rides. 2 tickets for the coaster, 1 ticket for the merry-go-round, this kind of a thing. You bought a package. So here we go. This is about the picnic, of course, my focus on food. Kennywood Picnic, summer 1955. Before Kennywood banned bring-in food, we packed eggplant parm, spaghetti, watermelon, salads, no cooking on common use grills for our family. After a morning of rides, we spread out across 2 picnic tables, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandma, parents, to eat and talk and talk and eat until the long day's sun burned the sky away. Darkness brought fireworks, fighting with the moon for sky space, as we festooned the lower air with light by running with sparklers as the adults cleaned up the picnic. When all lights and noise gave way to the quiet, cool twinkling of stars, and moon declared victory over the man-made lights, we piled into assorted Oldsmobiles, Fords, and Studebakers and headed home.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Sorry for my phone.
That was nice.
Thank you. I never did ride the coasters very often. John, are you ready?
Okay. I'm having trouble with my eyes, so let's see what we can do here. This is called Game Trail. There was no line where forest began, no grassy field soft before darkness deep within the trees. No, we lived among them, oak and maple, beech and walnut on a sandy game trail that emerged from the old ones, crossed the hill and disappeared in shadows. The trail was used by whitetails and gray fox that we called ours. Centuries of use dug its way into loam and soil. They followed where it curved around our house and climbed the hill, then down to the marsh beside the Missouri. We called them ours because they often stopped, motionless, to watch us through our windows. It was that first spring. The doe we named Bright Eyes laid on her side in wildflowers outside the kitchen window and gave birth, lifting her head to look over her shoulder, white tail thrashing as she pushed. Then she licked her newborn and nosed it up into the sharp glare of its new world. She must have known I was watching her, because every spring she brought her newborns to the window to show them humans, to pass on her name for us. Thank you. And that's Bright Eyes behind me there.
I was thinking that same thing. Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's really amazing. That's quite a connection. Abha, one more chance here. Do you have something you'd like to read?
I didn't keep anything ready. I
Oh,
just
you were
came
away
to
from
listen.
home, so
Yeah.
yes. But it might be nice if we all unmute and just shout out, "Hi, Sharon."
Hi, Sharon.
Sharon.
Hi,
Sharon.
Sharon. Hi,
Hi,
Sharon.
Sharon.
So it turns out that we finished quicker than I thought we would. If there's any messages anyone has for Sharon, this would be a nice time. Do remember it will go on YouTube. So,
My only message to Sharon is thank you for actually getting us all together,
yes.
Yes.
and wishing you strength and well, whatever love can send you, because I think you have a lot of love in your life, and just rely on it and lean back and let it happen.
It's beautifully said.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Ditto,
second
ditto,
that.
ditto.
Thank you. And yes, lovely. And wishing you all the best, Sharon.
Any other, Sean? You lit up there, Sean. Maybe you took a deep breath.
No, I didn't. No.
So, well, then I will close us out unless anyone has anything else they really want to say.
No, thank you, everyone. It's great to see everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
Indeed.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. I'll stop the
Thank
recording.
you. Bye.
I have to find the little key here. Stop recording.
Until next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Thanks for
Love you.
hosting,
Love you.
Joan.
Thank you for
It's
hosting.
a pleasure to do
Yes,
this
thank
little
you.
thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So the recording is off now. If there's anything anybody wants to say or ask me a question about, since I did talk to her this morning.
Yeah.
She
Thank
How's
you,
she
Joan.
doing?
you're so welcome.
Does she have family staying with her, Joan?
No, she's by herself. She
Yes.
has, they all live far away. She has a little thing that she can squeeze for an emergency. And she has, I just I had an email exchange with her sister, Judith, the one that we've been, all have been communicating with. And because I was concerned about groceries, but I don't like to ask Sharon when I call her, oh, is somebody getting groceries? Because I can't say I'll bring them. I mean, I'm 2,000 miles away. So, I asked Judith and she said, yes, there is even a grocery store that will deliver, even though it's 40 miles. She's 40 miles from town. And there's a restaurant that will deliver her fully cooked meals. And neighbors of hers she has nice neighbors who pick up things for her and do things for her. But I hope she's not trying, she really can't do very much. And she just
I
wants,
know.
she can't do
Yeah.
much at all.
Is she wheelchair bound?
Well, she's bed bound, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it's worse than that. She really can hardly get out of bed. So I imagine that what she gets from the grocery is mostly liquids and fruits and, perishables like that. And that she gets cooked meals from, I think her neighbors bring her some and the restaurant sends her some. But, I've never been there and I've never seen pictures of it. So I really don't know. Abba, have you been there?
No, I haven't been. I only used to always talk when I go to
Yeah.
US, I make sure. And always, even the phone, Al used to pick up the phone
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
take it to her.
Yes. Because
So,
she keeps the phone by her
yes.
bed now. So, but I try not to call too early. And a lot of times that means I miss her call. I miss calling her because she's 3 hours behind Eastern time.
Yes.
And I'm a very early person in the afternoon. I have things, things are going on with our family. So I forget. So I try to wait till it's at least 11 or 12 o'clock her time before I call her. And like today, I called her earlier at 11 and I was concerned. So I hoped that she might change her mind and come because it was 1 o'clock for her time when we established this, But she said she's also having internet difficulties today. So she has a very poor internet connection where she is. Very poor. So
Is she still, Joan, is she still suffering from, she said she had valley fever? Is
I
she,
don't know. I don't know what particular things she has, but it's more than one.
yeah, and as far as like her health, does she have a nurse that checks in on her? Or,
I don't think so, but I don't know that, that she wants one. I mean, her sister
yeah,
and her niece and her son, they're all very caring. Two sons, I think, but they're very caring. Her son checks in with her. Her one son checks in with her every day. So I
okay,
think that they would get a nurse to go and see her if they felt
if
she
she
needed
needed,
one. But I
okay.
think it's just a matter of fact that, it'd be better if she had someone there with her, but she doesn't want anybody right now, as she misses Al. So
So did Al have a heart attack or something?
I don't really know. I mean, he was older. He was close to 90, right?
No. He was 20 years younger. He
Oh,
was
I
in
had no idea.
60s.
I
Yeah.
thought he was older than she.
No.
Huh.
He was in 60s.
Wow. So did he have a heart attack on him? Do you
No,
know?
I
You don't
never
know.
got to know. So
Well, she's never said. She's never
yes,
said, but I
yes,
thought maybe she
because
just never said
I
to me.
did have email exchanges.
Right, right.
I mean, yeah, I was very much looking forward to if she joined in this meeting just to see her.
When I saw you,
Well,
I knew that that was really the reason. Not that you don't love us too, but
yes,
I
yes.
knew
I,
that
I
she
mean,
was
yeah,
she was the
yeah. So
draw.
I wasn't really prepared with any poem,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to some extent, I wasn't also feeling like just kind of
I understand.
wanted to see her. We
But
exchanged a lot of emails because from India I can't really call her, but
yes,
there was a time when almost every day we wrote to each other. She's been
yeah.
such a close friend, and I'm really. So he was younger. They were like,
I forgot. I didn't
I mean,
realize.
she called like soulmates.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. But
and he
when
took
you look at
care.
his picture on the cover of the book, he looks the same age as she.
Mm.
So,
She
and then
looks very young.
yeah, she looks very young. I had a friend whose husband was older who just died also. The same suddenness as Al. So I get mixed up. But I also didn't realize it was 20 years, older or young.
Something like that. I mean,
Yeah, but
I mean,
a
it
bigger
is a lump.
gap than one would think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
And I mean, she did tell that there were times he helped her with, washing the hair or
Yes.
whatever, taking bath,
Yeah.
etc.
I think
And
she's written about that. One of the poems in her book
yes,
talks about how he shops for her.
Right.
yes,
And
shopping was all by him
yeah.
twice. I mean, once in 2 weeks or something,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he will
Well, they
bring it.
live quite far out.
Yes, almost 40 kilometers. Earlier,
Yeah.
she used to at least go, then she said she couldn't walk. So she wouldn't go when he will go to do the
Yeah. She
groceries.
couldn't sit down. They took away the
Yes,
bench in Walmart, she said in her poem. And so she couldn't go with him because she had no place to
yes,
sit while he shopped.
yes.
So
I mean, so the last exchange she wrote, that's last week or so when I wrote, she said I'm struggling, but I'm hanging on.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean,
And she watches the animals on
yes,
the camera that her son's set up for her. She has like it's not a ring thing, but it's a camera outside and she watches the animals. And one day I got her to tell me what animals had been there. And there are really quite a few, she really has, they did make their farm attractive to wild animals, offering
yes,
water and
yeah.
little foods, and they're a source of water in the desert for several
It
animals.
had got very hot. I just kind of feel because that exchange we had, she said that Al was going out and, he got this kind of heat stroke
Ah,
and then he was inside. So she
yeah,
herself said that he's not been well, but he's recovering.
yeah.
Mm.
So that's what's going on. So she has her son set up, like when you find little glitches in the storyteller things that she posts, her son set all of those up for
Yes,
her when he was there,
yes,
and he was in a hurry. So the niceties of sometimes, a space between lines or poets or something,
yeah,
they're not
yes,
going to
yes,
be as regular as
correct.
when she and Al did it together. Al would do it and then she would look it
Yes,
over. But her
yes.
son had to do all of them through the end
For
of the
the
year
whole
for his
year,
birth.
for the
Yeah,
whole year, he has
for
put
the whole
it.
year, and he scheduled them for her. So she
Yes.
has to do nothing. They just come up.
I mean, lot of commitment to that. I mean, I
Yeah, yeah,
really,
but he was doing it all in a day or 2 days too, the
yeah.
poor guy. So, he was rushing. But so her family is doing what they can, but they don't live close by. I forget where her
No,
sister lives, but it's not close. And the niece is the one who set up the GoFundMe, and but I don't know what's going on with that. So
it's
Okay.
very tough, very tough.
yes, it is. It is.
Well, thanks for hosting today, Joan.
Well,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
very glad I could. I forgot to talk with everybody about the possibility. I'll email you. October is the earliest I can do a session to debut all of the books. There are 3 people who have new books. I think one of them is Lori. Another one is Laurie. That'll be terrible for me. And another one may be Jackie. With my pronunciation different. Our Pittsburgh accents, Mary, we get in there and those OR and
It's
AUR.
everybody else that has the accent.
It's true,
We
isn't it?
just, it's everybody else, not
We
us.
go downtown and we're okay downtown.
Right, right.
So, and we have our parking chairs, and so they don't know what parking chairs are, but
I
someday
know.
one of us will tell you. But anyway, so that's what
Well, we're all, I feel very much, that we're all at that age.
yes, we are.
And I understand about chairs in Walmart. I mean, I've had balance issues. And we
Oh,
all know that at this stage of life, if you fall, it
yeah,
can be a catastrophe.
yeah.
And I'm one of the people who looks forward to that bench being there when I need it. And I think also I live in a retirement community, like over 65 community, and we don't see young people in the community.
Oh,
You see people's grandchildren
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
when they visit. And since my husband and I have moved in here, we've been here about 8 years. So many of the people that we met have passed.
Oh,
You
where
know,
are you again, Mary?
Florida,
Florida.
Edgewater, Florida.
Edgewater.
So with the crocodiles and
I had when we lived in Brunswick Plantation in North Carolina, it wasn't an over 55 community, but almost everybody there was over 55. And so right before we left, 5 of my friends experienced deaths. 3 of them, their husbands died suddenly, and the other 2 died of illness, and it was all in like a 2 or 3 month period.
Yeah, it becomes
very hard.
Yeah, it's the other thing that I think I've come to be surprised by is discovering so many people who are quite elderly, and so vital and alive and interested in the world and interested in knowledge and art. And you have that opportunity too, to see how how some people can be alive so far into their years, and a lot of times death does come suddenly. It just Well, I worked as a nurse, so
Oh, you're used to
I mean, it's always part of your awareness. I think you never you have a different understanding of it because you've come close to it. Our culture tends not to deal with death very well. It happens far away.
but it doesn't. It happens close
And
by.
everybody expects people to just get over it. Just pick up and go on. And you have to have time to grieve. You have to have time to process it.
Yeah, this is very new still for Sharon. Very new.
Yeah, I really feel for her. I really do.
Yeah. And I just spoke to Al because I was leaving that day US. So whenever I've called Sharon, I always call before leaving. And I have spoken to him at 11 o'clock and I have reached the airport and I look at my mail. I just cannot get over it. I just cannot get over it because I mean, his words seemed garbled. He always says, "Hello, Abba, I'm giving it to Sharon." And I mean, he gave it to her, but I could not make out what he said. It's always the same thing. I just cannot. And he gave it to her. I said, "How is Al doing?" Because she had written that he had this. No, he's fine, but now he's not going out because he had this. It's too much heat, and he told me this. I said, "Okay," because I just asked, and I just don't know. Next, I read that he's not.
But at least he didn't suffer a long time because that would have been hard.
Yes, he would not have suffered. It must have been because he's spoken, and within an hour, I have this that they have found him. So.
Well, I have to leave, but thank you again,
Yes.
Joan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Abha. And
yes,
I will
thank you,
say goodbye
everyone.
and go down and pamper my husband.
That's so sweet. That's
And I have to see that he's fed.
Yes. Yes. Well, I made chicken soup today. But my turn.
boy.
But I started it early and then turned it off, so it sits. I follow that process, and I don't put the pasta in it until you get your bowl of soup. I never let the pasta sit in the soup because it makes it starchy, and I don't like starchy soup. So I follow my grandmother's method.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the way you're supposed to do it.
I see a lot of recipes that call for you to add the soup 10 minutes before it's on, or add the pasta. Forget it, people.
It gets mushy.
Yes. I don't like mushy pasta. Anyway, we're having orzo. But it's my grandmother's recipe, so it should be good. I wish I could take some to Sharon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was lovely to see
Lovely
everybody.
seeing everybody.
Yes.
So
And thank you very much.
it's
Thank you,
my
Joanne.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye
Mary.
bye.
Okay.
Sorry for not reading, but I just was.
No,
I
it's
hope it's
fine.
okay.
You know, I was just teasing you. I hope you weren't, sweetie, because I knew
No,
you
no,
said you
no.
couldn't read, and I know you're in Sweden, not at home. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
different.
and yes.
It's nice that your daughter lets you
Eh,
be
yes.
with us
So
first.
nice of you. Okay, take care, Joanne.
Bye-bye.